Hey, part two. Then we had a little interview with Scott Steiner. JB interviews him. Scott Steiner just says, none of your business what me and Jeff Jarrett talk about. Don't know what the point in that was. He also says that Jeff Jarrett's actions will do the talking. I suppose that was the point. Never mind. Then we had Mick Foley interviewing Cactus Jack. Basically, to show Mick Foley schizophrenic, which isn't really coming across all that well. This was not as good as Foley's usual promos. He kind of forgot who he was at certain points, I felt, between Mick Foley and Cactus Jack. He was just being both personas, and he kind of forgot who he was at some points, which just made it even more confusing. Especially because Cactus Jack doesn't really have that distinct an accent. But, yeah, basically the gist was Cactus Jack was accusing Mick Foley of having no heart, no guts, no spine. And Mick Foley was like, what are you talking about? I lost an ear and all that. And Cactus Jack was just like, no, it was me who lost the ear. When you were me, that's when you could do things. When you're not me, you're a total coward. Yeah, and it just goes on for a while. And it is fairly entertaining, to be honest. It is fairly entertaining. Then Sting comes out and asks if Mick Foley's actually lost his mind. Sting promos really fucking annoy me. You don't have to start a sentence and finish a sentence with the person's name. Like, if you were to read if you're like to transcribe his sentences, it would be Mick, comma, have you really gone insane, question mark, comma, Mick. You know? It's just like the most ridiculous sentence imaginable. Actually, the comma would be before the question mark, but, you know, for anyone who wants to correct my grammar. Yeah, so basically Mick Foley makes the Main Event Mafia theme tune play, so that distracts Sting, and then Mick Foley attacks him from behind, and, well, Cactus Jack, we're supposed to believe, attacks him from behind, does a sort of elbow drop thing with the wooden chair they were sitting on, and the promo starts to get really good when it gets a bit surreal, and Mick Foley's saying, yeah, the Main Event Mafia aren't coming out actually, Sting. It's just I can play anyone's music I want. And then he goes, let's have a bit of Curry Man, and Curry Man's music plays, which was kind of funny because it meant there had already been a sort of taped Suicide promo, and now there was a Curry Man thing on the wall, which means Christopher Daniels had appeared 2 times in this episode before he made his return. But yeah, and then Mick Foley plays Shark Boy's music, and finally he plays Sting's music, and says that he's just gonna kill him at Lockdown, basically, which was pretty good. Oh no, Balls Mahoney and Brother Runt are getting up by beer money. Who could see this development happening? Actually, this development is kind of a surprise, because Beer Money are face now, aren't they? Well, they've been face for the last 2 weeks. What the hell is this? This is a sudden U-turn. Yeah, basically Balls Mahoney and Brother Runt get beaten up by Beer Money, and of course, as Balls Mahoney and Brother Runt are both former ECW guys, they really get beaten up, like, get nailed with chairs, really, really good sounding chair shots, and loads of blood, and eventually powerbombed through a table. One of them gets. I presume it's Brother Runt. Could Robert Roode lift Balls Mahoney? Probably. Yeah. Then Team 3D come out. They're angry at Beer Money, of course, and they say, at Lockdown it's going to be a Philadelphia street fight, which is a cage match where the cage doors open. What the fuck is the point in that? If you're going to advertise a pay-per-view as all cage matches, you can't have one that doesn't appear in the cage. I mean, I know they want to get the Philly crowd involved, but that's, you know, that's just what a cage match is. You can't have a pay-per-view with all ladder matches, one of them you win only by pinfall. I mean, it makes no sense. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, finally we have Kurt Angle come out for the main event of the night, and Jeff Jarrett comes out and he says he's going to show where his loyalties lie. His loyalties lie with the phenomenal AJ Styles, and this is for him, and this is for the Nation of Violence, Samoa Joe. That's how he describes him. I didn't realize the Nation of Violence was a person now. I thought the Nation of Violence was either a place or a group that contains one person, but not just a single Anyway, okay. And also this for the TNA fans. And he says this has been an easy decision, and then he introduces Christopher Daniels. If it was an easy decision, why did it take you so long to realize that Christopher Daniels as the fallen angel is what people want? Like, I mean in real life, obviously. Like, why? Also, no one mentioned the fact that he'd been fired during Feast or Fired, which just makes that match totally pointless. Not that it wasn't already totally pointless. I'm getting a bit sidetracked today, but you know, whatever. I really did enjoy the show. I think I'd be very negative. Anyway, the crowd got really into Christopher Daniels' return. They were really cheering. Then we had Angle versus Daniels, and this was an entertaining match, a good quality match. There was a bit of cagey mat wrestling at the start, which I wasn't too into, but it was okay. Livened up when Daniels got on the ring apron and hit a split-legged moonsault, sort of jumping, putting your legs on the top rope, and flipping backwards onto Angle, who was on the outside. Then Angle does a suplex over the top rope, which was good, but could have been slightly better. Daniels dominates for a bit, shows good power that I often forget that he actually has. And he goes for the best moonsault ever, the BME, and Angle gets out of the way and reverses it into 3 German suplexes. Angle hits the Angle Slam, which is once again no-sold after a couple of weeks ago during that cage match thing, that cage Royal Rumble thing, where everyone got pinned by the Angle Slam. It's once again no-sold. Then the ending of the match is rather good. Christopher Daniels does a beautiful pinning combination, but the reason it's so beautiful is that it means that your shoulders are also down as well as the other person. Just a really good ending. The referee counts 3, and it's clear that Christopher Daniels' shoulders are down, and Kurt Angle's absolutely furious because he says he got his shoulder up and Christopher Daniels had his shoulder down. I don't think he knows Daniels had his shoulder down, but he knows he had his shoulder up. Jim Cornette comes out and says he saw it, he saw the same, and that referee Rudy Charles had got it wrong. But then Angle spits in his face and angers him, so Jim Cornette says he's not going to reverse the decision. Then Angle, after the break, Angle's in the ring with all the main event mafia, and he calls out Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett has his shirt unbuttoned for no reason. I swear he's come out with this for no reason, his shirt unbuttoned, just to show his muscles. Clearly they're getting, extra female viewers at that time, I have no idea. But yeah, that was pretty random. And Jarrett shows everyone the replays, and shows that Kurt Angle did win the match. What a way to kill Christopher Daniels' momentum. I knew there was no chance they'd let him beat Kurt Angle. And, why did they put him in a match with Kurt Angle? Why didn't they just make Kevin Nash fight, Well, maybe not, but just have the forfeit or whatever, because that is just, that's just going to kill, that just killed the momentum totally. So AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels are furious at Jeff Jarrett, and then Samoa Joe's Samoa Joe's music plays, and basically they go off air, but apparently Samoa Joe's also annoyed at Jeff Jarrett. Well, that's what we're supposed to believe, but I think he's actually annoyed with Rudy Charles, who, as we all know, is the first victim of the Nation of Violence, because he gets beaten up by Samoa Joe every single week. And anyway, that was the whole show, and it was a pretty good one. I really quite enjoyed it. Great match, the Sabin Homicide Naito. Good to see Christopher Daniels' match, and he put on a good match versus Kurt Angle. Mick Foley segment started off a little rough, not as good as his usual promos, but really got good when it went a bit surreal and he started having Curry Man's music in the background and all that. And I quite like the fact Beer Money are heel, but I don't know why they weren't heel before. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Lockdown. My Lockdown review will be a bit late because in the UK I won't get to see it till Wednesday, so that's fine for my UK viewers, but I'm sure I'm sure no one actually cares at all. Anyway, please feel free to comment, ask questions. Your views are important. Subscribe and rate this video, and I will see you for a WWE Superstars video that I haven't made yet. Okay, bye.